A good Thursday to everybody out there in television land, or as we'd like to say in the business, TV. It's Thursday, the 5th day of October, 2017. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life channel. I am Dan Coons, your host. Our news director, Steve Hare, to my immediate left. Good Thursday to you, my friend.
You too, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's the day before the weekend.
That's right.
So, and this is usually the day of the week when people make their weekend plans.
Absolutely.
And there's really no lack of things to do this weekend. It's a
I know
jam-packed weekend.
I think they got the Ferris wheel and everything set up out at Eastmont Park.
Yeah,
for
Wings and
Wheels.
Wheels
Festival this weekend.
It actually starts today. You can
Yeah.
go ride the carnival rides.
Yeah.
The big Wenatchee Valley College Night Fright ride is this weekend. You can light the loop with our friends that serve Wenatchee Valley. All kinds of local sporting events going on.
Keep your eyes to the sky this weekend, folks. As part of the Wings and Wheels, you'll see Miss V-Doll out flying this weekend.
You can't miss it because it's loud.
It is loud.
It's a very loud plane indeed. And this is, if you're a sports fan, this is absolutely the perfect time of year because you got, first of all the high schools, of course, are now well into their season. So you have all the fall sports going on, including football. And then you have college football in full swing. NFL is in full swing. National Hockey League started last night with the opening night of the hockey season. So hockey is now underway as well. And of course, playoff baseball. It all kind of comes together in October.
Baseball season ended.
No, it didn't.
It's all over now.
No.
No interest at all in the playoffs.
I try to watch every pitch of every playoff game. I love it.
Although it'd be nice to see the rematch between the Dodgers and Yankees, wouldn't it?
It's a possibility.
I think so.
That's what the television executives want. The two biggest media markets in America playing baseball in late October. It is 2 minutes after the hour. Sunrise is at 7:06 this morning. We're about 4 minutes away from sunrise, but just like we've had all this week, we have some spectacular sunrise footage. I hope, did I just put my foot in my mouth, Caitlin? Let's find out together. Let's take a look at the Wenatchee camera. There's the cross cam. It's pulled back a little bit because you can see the little little edge of Wenatchee Heights there. So we've actually pulled that back. Explain the haze real quickly, Steve, before we get into the news.
Well, the U.S. Forest Service, of course, conducting its seasonal prescribed burning at this time. In fact, there are a number of areas and parcels of property that they're doing some burning to kind of burn off some of that excess vegetation. Also, we've got the so-called Chumyan fire that's been burning since September 30th, and that started actually as a prescribed burn, but it slopped over into some Weyerhaeuser land, and they're hoping to get that under full containment this week, but that's about 540-acre fire right now. The late season prescribed burn that kind of slopped over apparently onto some
And you'll have more on
private
that when we get to the
timberland,
news,
so,
right?
yeah, we'll have
Cool. So that's camera number one, the affectionately known cross camera. Camera number two takes us, that's got to be Jump Off Ridge. And there's your Purple Mountain Majesty, Steve, above thy fruited plain. As you can see, it's considerably hazier and smokier than it was yesterday at this time, wasn't it?
You see the fruited plain there right in the foreground.
Right, absolutely. That is Jump Off Ridge. By the way, don't jump off Ridge. It's a long way down. Camera number three will take us to, and again, we find out together, that is Stamen Flats, of course, named after the legendary billiard player Minnesota Flats, Columbia River right in front of you, Douglas County, right smack dab in the middle of your screen. Way down at the bottom, you can see 97A, which is just before the Knaps Hill Tunnel, so not bad there. And finally, our fourth and final camera, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi Network, is beautiful downtown Wenatchee, USA. That's the roof of the Cascadian pointing to the north on the morning commute.
Light traffic volume, as a matter of fact.
It usually is this time of the morning as people get up and about and moving around. Although I must tell you, this is an interesting story. You brought that up. When I got home from work yesterday, I had to go out and run a couple of errands, and I was rounding around for maybe about an hour and a half, right? Traffic everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, the town is growing, the area is growing. And all I could think of is I'm driving around town between 1:30 and about 3. Don't these people have jobs? What are all these cars doing running around? How come nobody's in an office? Yeah. It was just kind of curious about why all these people are driving around town in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon. What do I know? Let's do your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. It's been a beautiful week for the most part, but there's a big change coming for the weekend. It's going to be dry and mild again today. We have not got to any of those high temperatures. They've been predicting, Steve, the National Weather Service, lower 70s. Haven't gotten there. They were predicting 71 yesterday. We only got to 66 on Wednesday.
Sure felt like 70, though.
Yeah, I think it's just because I don't know why, actually.
Gorgeous afternoon.
It was a beautiful afternoon.
Yeah.
So we're going to see sunshine today. We're going to see sunshine Friday. Now, the high-pressure ridge that's in charge is going to give way to a very vigorous cold front. It's going to happen late Friday into the night Friday night and throughout the course of the day on Saturday. So what you do not see there, graphically represented, Steve, is the wind. And come Friday afternoon, here comes the wind. They were predicting earlier in the week it was going to be breezy. Now it's going to be windy. On Friday afternoon, Friday morning, the wind will be out of the northwest wind 5 to 10, but in the afternoon it increases to 17 to 22 miles an hour. And late in the afternoon Friday, as we get into Friday night, gusts as high as 35 miles an hour.
And again, folks, we're not out of the fire season. Still very dry out there, so take care.
Friday night, going to be breezy again, so heads up on that if you're going to be out and about watching football or whatever it is on Friday night. Going to be windy. Going to be quite windy on Friday night, and it's going to be windy all day on Saturday. Saturday might be a great day to go out and fly a kite, among other things. So,
but if you wear a toupee, of course, chin strap.
It's going to be sunny. We're not going to have to deal with a great deal of clouds, occasional high cloud coming in. In the morning hours, it's going to be hazy because, as Steve mentioned, there's some prescribed burns going out there. So it's going to be sunny, and it's going to be cooler than normal. But the big story is going to be the wind, which is going to be Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, calms down Saturday night as that cold front exits the region. And it's going to be pretty chilly for most of next week, as well as we get deeper and deeper into October. And one final little note on the weather forecast. When we talk about your highs and your lows and your relative humidity and all of those things that we talk about, all of that stuff is measured at Payne-Boyle Memorial Airport. That's where the official weather station is. You need to keep that in mind because here where we are, near the valley floor, we're about 800 feet above sea level, roughly.
Roughly.
Yeah, and of course, Payne-Boyle is higher up. Payne-Boyle is closer to 1,300 feet. So you want to keep that in mind when we talk about our official measuring station, which is at Payne-Boyle Memorial Airport. All right, just about 7 minutes after the hour, we are live from Studio 4 here in downtown Wenatchee. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. News Director Steve Hare will have your morning headlines in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Hi, good morning and welcome to a Thursday and NCW Life News. Here's what's happening today. A judge delayed sentencing hearing yesterday for Dawn Souls, the woman who pleaded guilty to being an accomplice in the 1982 murder of her ex-husband, Stephen Smith of Kashmir. Souls appeared in Chelan County Superior Court yesterday. She's also the former wife of Bernard Swaim, the man who was originally charged with first-degree murder but was found not guilty at his trial back in August. Souls was also charged with rendering criminal assistance in Smith's murder, but she testified against Swaim as the prosecution's star witness. Her testimony, however, was discredited by witnesses for the defense, and she subsequently changed her plea to guilty after Swaim was acquitted. Now, during yesterday's hearing, there was disagreement between defense attorney Keith Howard and prosecutor Doug Shea over the court's sentencing options. Judge Leslie Allen ordered both attorneys to submit written briefs so she could review them, and she's rescheduled the sentencing hearing for this afternoon at 2 p.m. Also, the third annual Coffee with a Cop event was held yesterday afternoon at the Pybus Market in Wenatchee. The event provides law enforcement from around our region a fun way to interact with the community. Captain Edgar Reinfeld with the Wenatchee Police Department says events like Coffee with the Cop have a positive impact on area residents in many ways.
So Coffee with a Cop is a national program that we carry on here as well. This is actually our second event this year. The idea is we go to a common public place, not our station, not some school, not something like that, someplace with coffee or similar, first of all. But second, for folks to just come out, meet with us, ask us the questions they have in an environment that's a completely open public place. So instead of calling the police and then trying to get your issues figured out or get the answers to the questions you have, come down here. We're here to talk to you, meet you, say hi, and ensuring that we are not viewed as something outside the community. We are part of the community. We're all in this together. We all got to take care of each other. We all have to work together to accomplish anything we do. We as a police department cannot accomplish anything without citizens, first of all, telling us what's happening, but at the same time, talking with us and helping us work to solve problems. The police can rarely solve a problem. The community can usually do a much better job of solving it. We just can be a catalyst and mediator to get that going. Just the important thing is come on down, come see us. When we host these events, like I said, this is the second one this year. We've never done more than one in a year before. We may grow it to more than that. Today is National Coffee with a Cop Day, one of several this year. And other agencies around the state, Yakima did theirs at 7 o'clock this morning. City of Boise in Idaho's got one going today, if not 4. Boise's a little bit larger and really engages us fully. When these opportunities are out there, come see us. And the biggest thing, when you see us out and about, you got a question, come ask us. Don't be afraid to approach an officer and say, hey, I got a question.
And again, that's Ranald Olson with NCW Live News down at Coffee with the Cop at Pybus yesterday afternoon. Also from last night, the Wenatchee community turned out in good numbers last night for a school board candidate forum held at John Newberry Elementary School. All 5 of the candidates vying for 3 open board seats participated in that event last night. And as you can see here, a good turnout there at Newberry School. Voting in the November 7th election begins actually October 20th when the ballots are mailed out. In fact, we'll have more on last night's forum coming up at 5 o'clock on our NCW Live Evening News with Grant Olson. Meanwhile, the 15th annual Wings and Wheels Festival kicks off today at Eastmont Community Park in East Wenatchee. Now, since 2002, the event has featured a vendor, craft, and food fair, dancing, pancake breakfast, airplane and glider rides, motorcycle show, and live entertainment. The festival also features a Friday night car cruise along Eastmont Avenue in East Wenatchee, always a crowd favorite, and a car show Saturday at Eastmont Park. Davis Show's Northwest Carnival will also be on hand with rides starting today at 4 o'clock in the afternoon until close on Thursday and Friday and noon to close on both Saturday and Sunday. Festival goers can purchase a $25 wristband for carnival rides on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Also in the news this morning, legislation to add more transparency to the Federal Endangered Species Act advances in Congress. The legislation, sponsored by 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse, ensures the use of sound science in the state, and local stakeholders are given access to data used in some of these decisions to list species. Congressman Newhouse commented on the bill in testimony before the House Natural Resources Committee back in July. He cited grizzly bears and gray wolves as examples of poor management of endangered species.
Just this year, the National Park Service, as well as Fish and Wildlife, released a draft plan to reintroduce in the North Cascades ecosystem the grizzly bear. Both agencies claim the bears will be joining an existing grizzly population. However, the last confirmed sighting of the grizzly bear in that area was in 1996. The people living in these communities deserve to know what data the federal agencies are basing their decisions on. I have expressed my deep concerns regarding the lack of sound science and data to support this decision and will continue to do so. The case of the gray wolf also comes to mind. The Department of Interior and the Fish and Wildlife Service published a proposed rule that would remove the gray wolf's listing over 4 years ago, and even found the best available science and commercial information indicates that the currently listed entity is not a valid species under the Act. Yet the wolf remains listed. The gray wolf is found in nearly 50 countries around the world and has grown substantially across its range. I can attest to that. I will continue to be a firm advocate of delisting the gray wolf and returning its management to the states. On a final note, Mr.
And again, Congressman Newhouse's legislation would update the ESA by requiring federal agencies to make data used for ESA decisions publicly available on the internet. It would also ensure the proper use of taxpayer funding by putting a cap on attorneys' fees. One final note here, our final little video provided to us by TVW in Olympia. It really kind of answers an age-old trivia question, Dan.
What's that?
What is the smallest Washington state park? Its name might surprise you.
I don't know. Let's find out together.
Here we are in the Kettle River Valley, one of the most beautiful locations of our state. And on this knoll overlooking the valley is the gravesite of Ranald McDonald. McDonald was the son of a Hudson Bay Company explorer and an Indian princess, born at Fort George at the mouth of the Columbia River. He was well educated. He became interested in the Pacific Ocean and the sea, and he took a job on a whaling ship. And while they were whaling off the coast of Japan, he wanted to learn more and more about Japan, and he asked the captain to let him go ashore. Japan was closed at the time, and he risked his life in doing this, but he took a small boat and rowed ashore. He actually capsized the boat partially so the Japanese would think he was in distress. When he got into the shore and was captured by the Japanese, he began to teach them English. And he's now today considered the first English teacher in Japan. Many Japanese visitors come here to this site every year to see his grave and pay their respects. It's an incredible story and one of those that make this one of my most favorite places.
Support for My Favorite Places is provided by the Washington Hospitality Association and by Weatherly Inn, senior living where it's home and your family.
Interesting little vignette there by our former Secretary of State, Ralph Monroe, and you can just catch more of those little features that he does, My Favorite Places, on the TVW website. We'll share more with you also, well, as we proceed.
It's a fascinating story. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either, to be honest with you, until I actually saw this site up in Curlew. But again, the state's smallest state park.
I had no idea. I wonder if it has its own ranger.
We all learn something new every day.
It's good. It's true. We do. It is 18 minutes after the hour. A friendly reminder before Steve goes back to the newsroom and does his work, which is brilliant, I might add. We have the news right here on the NCW Live channel every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and again at 10 o'clock in the evening with our very own Grant Olson. It's everything you need to know in one tidy little package. We got weather, we got news, we got sports. We always have a feature or two sometimes with Grant Olson.
And if you see news happening or have an idea for a news story, contact us here at 888-2020.
Or go to our Facebook page and send us a message. There's any number of ways for you to get a hold of us, because this is as much your station as it is ours, Steve.
You bet.
All right, 18 minutes after the hour, live from Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. A quick 1 minute break. When we come back, sports, today in history, birthdays, and a whole bunch more. And I haven't mentioned this yet. My guest to the second half of the show, the executive director of the YWCA of North Central Washington, Jenny Pratt, will be back in. Haven't seen Jenny for a while. They got a busy October going on at the YWCA. My good friend Jenny Pratt will be in studio in the second half of the show, provided she hasn't left yet. It's happened a couple of times. You know, we put them in the green room and they watch the first half of the show and they go, I signed up for this.
Yeah, well, I'd be a little reluctant too, Dan.
Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Justin at Club Crow Bar and Grill reminding you it's your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Jam sessions and live bands playing a wide range of music. If pool tables or pull tabs are more your thing, we have you covered. Enjoy the fun and food at Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Stop on by today.
Collins Fashions has a fabulous selection of clothing, handbags, jewelry, and shoes for all events in your life, such as work, errands, celebration, travels, etc., etc. And our professional caring staff will assist you in coordinating your wardrobe and choose a perfect gift for that special someone. Our many fabulous brands include Joseph Ribkoff, Tribal, Jag Jeans, Tommy Bahama, and we are your Brighton headquarters for North Central Washington. We are grateful for our wonderful customers, and we look forward to seeing you at Collins, where fun and fashion meet in downtown Wenatchee.
And we are back on this 5th day of October 2017. It is a Thursday morning. I am Dan Kuntz. Let's take a look at sports on this Thursday. First of all, the schedule, the prep schedule, and it's a big one indeed. We'll start out with soccer as Cashmere travels up to Okanagan. It is Chelan at Cascade. Orville is at Manson. You see Moses Lake is at Eastmont tonight. And the big match, this is a big one, West Valley is at Wenatchee tonight. Now, it says live on the NCAA Live channel. It actually won't be live. It'll be on tape. We'll be there with our cameras. Eric Granstrom and Matt Wiseman will be calling the action. We'll be taping that game and showing it a little bit later on in the week. This is a huge, huge matchup between the Rams and the Panthers at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl tonight. So that's soccer. Let's move on to volleyball. Chelan is at Cascade tonight. Cashmere will take on Okanagan. Liberty Bell is at Waterville Mansfield. Lake Roosevelt at Manson. Wenatchee travels down to Yakima to take on West Valley. And Moses Lake is at Eastmont tonight in volleyball. There's other prep action today, including swimming and diving. Hanford, the Falcons are in town to take on the Wenatchee Panthers at the Wenatchee High Swimming Pool. Davis, Sunnyside, and Eisenhower will be at the YMCA pool right across the campus at Eastmont High School at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Slow pitch softball. The undefeated Wenatchee Panthers will be hosting the Davis Pirates, 3 o'clock. That game will be taking place at the Wenatchee Valley College softball field. It's also hockey night tonight here on the NCAA Live channel with Wenatchee Wild taking on the Cowichan Valley Capitals. It all begins at 7 o'clock. Call to the Wild with the voice of the Wild, Art Checker. He'll be sitting down with Wild head coach Bliss Littler to discuss last week's game and this week's opponents. Tonight's broadcast features an incredible game by Jasper Weatherby.
You know, he had some success last year, but it's fun to watch him kind of just transform into being a bit role player into being the role that he's in right now, where he's one of our leaders and a guy that we count on for offense. And he's come a long ways, and he's doing a great job.
Now, the Wild have a tough road trip this weekend. 3 games in 3 days. They're at Chilliwack on Friday. On Saturday, they'll take on Powell River, and then Cowichan Valley again on Sunday. All of these games on the road. Arch asked Bliss Littler how he gets his club to prepare for all 3 opponents.
Right now, our focus is on Chilliwack. And, I know that a lot of guys are probably looking forward to playing in Powell River. But no doubt the Chilliwack's been our number one rival, and we want to keep our attention on Chilliwack. And when we're down with Chilliwack, then we'll give them the game plan for Powell River, and then we'll worry about Sunday.
You can watch it all here tonight on the NCAA Live channel, including Clarkie's Corner, which is a cute little feature. It all begins at 7 o'clock tonight. Again, Call to the Wild, Clarkie's Corner, and then last week's game between the Wenatchee Wild and Cowichan Valley tonight here on your Wenatchee Wild TV station. Arizona tied a record previously set in 1903. That was the very first World Series, by the way. They had 4 triples. The Diamondbacks hauled off Colorado last night in the National League Wild Card game. The final was 11-8. Archie Bradley, who was a relief pitcher for Arizona, had the biggest of the triples. It came at the bottom of the 7th with 2 runners aboard and his team clinging to a 6-5 lead. Arizona added another 2-run triple in the 8th for a good margin. The Diamondbacks now advance to the National League Division Series. They'll take on the Los Angeles Dodgers on Friday. Coming up today, the American League Divisional Series gets underway. I will be glued to my television. First up at 1 o'clock at Minute Maid Park in Houston, the Astros host the Boston Red Sox. Game 1, Chris Sale will take on Justin Verlander. And then at 4:30 tonight, it's New York at Cleveland. Sonny Gray will take on Trevor Bauer. Both National League Division Series, by the way, begins tomorrow in Los Angeles and our nation's capital, 24 minutes after the hour, the 5th day of October 2017. How about your obscure holiday of the day today? How about World Teachers Day? World Teachers Day. Teachers deserve more than a little recognition. They deserve a lot of recognition, and there is a teacher shortage. not just in the United States, but all over the world. We discussed this issue with my good friend Dr. Gene Sheridan and other administrators in the local area, and it's a concern. There's a shortage of teachers out there. Appreciate teachers. They educate our kids. They help shape your child's beliefs and values and what they should and shouldn't do. So recognize a teacher today. Think about maybe your favorite teacher today. World Teachers Day goes all the way back to October 5th, 1966, and it's been on. So it's 51 years old today. It is World Teacher Day today. A very important holiday. 25 minutes after the hour. How about today in history? Let's do that, shall we? October 5th, 1877, a very dark chapter in American history came to an end. It was 140 years ago today that the Nez-Perce War came to an end when Chief Joseph surrendered his Nez-Perce band to General Nelson A. Miles. Two incredible quotes came out of this very, very ridiculous confrontation. General Philip Sheridan said this about the war: "We took away their country, we took away their means of support, we broke up their mode of living, their habits of life, we introduced disease and decay among the Indians, and it was because of this that they went to war with us." He said, "Could you expect anything less?" Of course they would. Chief Joseph became immortalized by his famous speech: "I am tired of fighting, our chiefs have been killed, the old men are dead, it's cold, we have no blankets. The children are freezing to death. My people, some of them have run away to the hills. They have no blankets. They have no food. No one knows where they are. Perhaps they are freezing to death. I want to have time to look for my children, to see where they are. I can't find them. Maybe I shall find them among the dead. Hear me, my chiefs. I am tired. My heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever." Chief Joseph. The Nez-Perce War came to an end 140 years ago today. A pox among the American war. 64 years ago today, October 5th, 1953, Earl Warren was sworn in as the 14th Chief Justice of the United States. He served in that role for 14 terms, and almost every significant Supreme Court decision that we think about and we study today all emanated from the Warren Court. Brown v. Board of Education, Times v. Sullivan, Baker Carr, Reynolds Sims, Gideon v. Wainwright, the Miranda decision, Mapp v. Ohio, Griswold v. Connecticut, all of these magnificent, somewhat controversial Supreme Court decisions all were part of Earl Warren's legacy, who took the center chair on this date 64 years ago today. Two significant dates happened on this date in 1962. 55 years ago today, in 1962, Dr. No hit theaters all over the world, the very first James Bond movie. There have been 24 of them now. A 25th is in production. One of the most successful film franchises of all time, the James Bond film franchise, took to the theaters for the first time on this date in 1962. And also on this date in 1962, a little-known group from Liverpool released their very first 45 record. Their first single, it was "Love Me Do" by the Beatles. It hit number 17 on the British pop charts, and the only reason it got that high is a bunch of people from Liverpool bought the record. As far as Beatles songs go, "Love Me Do," it isn't very good, but it started the revolution 55 years ago today. And finally, 28 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays, shall we, on this October 5th. One of the most forgotten presidents of all time. We had one yesterday with Rutherford B. Hayes. Today we got Chester A. Arthur's birthday. He was the 21st president of the United States. He wasn't elected to the job. He was elected to the vice presidency, and then when James Garfield was assassinated, he got the job. And he's very much forgotten now, very few. Chester A. Arthur, I forgot he was even a president. He wasn't a bad president. He just didn't seem to do much, except grow mutton chops. Wouldn't it be great if we had a president with mutton chops again? Bring him back, I say. Chester A. Arthur, born in this state in 1829, died at the age of 57 in 1886. Ray Kroc, the American businessman and philanthropist, of course, always associated with McDonald's, born in this state in 1902, died at the age of 81 in 1984. He joined the McDonald's chain, the California-based chain, in 1954. He bought out the McDonald's brothers for $1 million each. Each of the two McDonald's brothers got $1 million in 1961, and what must have been the deal of the century. And today there are about 37,000 McDonald's worldwide. They had the Michael Keaton movie that came out earlier in the year. Check it out, it's pretty good. It does have some factual inaccuracies, but it's a pretty fascinating biography of Ray Kroc, the American businessman who took McDonald's to a little bitty restaurant chain and made it the biggest fast food franchise in the world. Barry Switzer is 80 years old today. Happy birthday to Barry. I always like this guy. course, American football player and coach. He's one of only 3 people to win a collegiate national championship and a Super Bowl. The other 2, of course, Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll. He won 3 national championships at Oklahoma, and of course, he won Super Bowl 30 as the head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Barry Switzer is 80 years old today. Some people call him the Space Cowboy. Some people call him the Gangster of Love. I call him Maurice. Steve Miller is 74 years old today. The American singer, songwriter, the great guitarist. My favorite Steve Miller story is we went to a Seattle Mariner baseball game with Steve, 1979, 1980, right around there. We left from his house in Medina. We got to ride in his Rolls Royce. The Yankees were in town, so it was a big crowd at the Kingdome, and we were fairly late getting there. And Steve Miller and 3 of my siblings and myself pull up in the Rolls Royce. Parking lot is full at the Kingdome. He pulls all the way up to the very front of the Kingdome, like right at the curb there. And he rolls down the window, and the parking attendant walks up to him, and Steve goes, "Where can I park this?" And the parking attendant looks at his Rolls Royce. He goes, "Wherever you want." So we got out of the car and went and watched the Mariners play the Yankees. Happy birthday to Steve Miller. He's 74 years old today. 30 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike McDonald's opinion here. In just a couple of minutes, it's a trip to Israel with Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. And then, of course, Jenny Pratt will be joining me. It's always good to see Jenny. She'll be in studio to talk all things YWCA on a busy October for those crazy gals. Jenny Pratt will be just a few minutes away. Special thanks to our sponsors, Weinstein Beverage, who distributes this product. It's called Pepsi Zero. It used to be called Pepsi Max. Now it's Pepsi Zero because it gets more to the point. There ain't no sugar in it. None at all. You take all the sugar in the world and you get rid of it, and that's how much sugar is in this product, and yet it still tastes like Pepsi. It's also got very little sodium, too. So if you love the Pepsi taste but don't like the sugar, this is the product for you. It's called Pepsi Zero, and you can get it at finer stores or even stores that aren't so fine all over North Central Washington, courtesy of our friends at Weinstein Beverage. And special thanks to our friends at Highgate Senior Living. You know, winter is coming. You don't want to shovel the snow anymore. Remember last winter? Shovel snow, shovel snow. You don't want to rake leaves anymore. You don't want to have to hassle with any of that garbage. Frees up a bunch of free time. When that time comes, think about Highgate Senior Living. You don't have to clean the gutters anymore. They do that for you. You don't have to shovel the sidewalk anymore. They do that for you. You don't have to rake the leaves. They do that for you. All you get to do is just have fun. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest. Call Melissa, take a tour. You'll be glad you did. 32 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNaughty's opinion. Is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, this is Melissa Knott, and I'd like to welcome you to Highgate Senior Living, where our residents become friends and our friends become family. Come enjoy a quiet moment in our beautiful courtyard or join your friends for great conversation. Improve your balance with one of our many gentle exercise classes and enjoy home-cooked meals with friends in our beautiful dining room. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom, host of Let's Learn here on the NCW Life channel, a program where we learn about different topics. And on this particular series, it's Death and Die. It's a conversation that no one wants to have, but we're going to have it right here on the NCW Life channel. So you're dead. Now what? We're going to learn all about the choices you have and the decisions you need to make. It's Let's Learn on the NCW Life channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza. Welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson.
Of the NCW Life Legislative Hotline, I'm Steve Hare.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
And now, your weather forecast for north central Washington.
We're here at the downtown fire station right now.
Dry and warm weather pattern for Friday.
Considering that we're supposed to be 103 degrees today, how do you keep these guys cool?
And this just in, traffic is slowed in the Orondo area as firefighters attack a brush fire.
Right here on NCW Life News.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Well, here we are, live here from Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Our TriCaster is the big control thing, Jenny, that controls everything. It's got lots of buttons and knobs, and people like to look at it. It's misbehaving right now. It decided, I'm going to take a little time off. So we apologize for not having Mike's commentary on. Oh, did it come on? Oh, okay. I was visiting with Jenny Pratt. My guest is Jenny Pratt, the Executive Director of the YWCA of North Central Washington. Welcome back to the show. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, you were doing Life with Lisa. You came in and did Lisa Bradshaw's
Yeah, it
show,
has been a little while.
which was a good show, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it very much.
So how you been? You been busy? How was summer? How's the year been going?
I kind of missed summer. It's like, wait, I'm not done with summer yet, but
kind of
fall's here.
Scooted right by, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
very
that's-
busy.
That's good, because you
Yeah,
were busy. You
yeah,
were busy.
yeah.
And now October is just nuts for you.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're going to fit it all in.
for sure.
Yeah. You do have a dedicated staff, right?
Very dedicated staff and board.
And board,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Takes us all.
that's something that people forget about. We talked about this a couple times ago. Your board is a hands-on board. They
Yeah, absolutely. It's a governing board, so, they make all the big decisions and all of that sort of thing. But, they get down to the nitty-gritty and help when help is needed, and this month is definitely no different.
You got a lot going on. Let's start out and talk about the Purple Purse.
Yeah.
What exactly is this, and how do people get involved?
The Purple Purse campaign is a all-state foundation awareness about domestic violence and victims of domestic violence and financial abuse.
And that's one of your biggest things that you deal with on a regular basis. That's part of your charter.
It is part of what we do. About 40% of our clients claim to be victim to domestic violence, not maybe immediately, but it's part of their history, part of their story, and what they need to move beyond.
And when we talk about domestic violence, it's not just physical. It's mental.
Oh yes,
as well.
it's can be verbal, mental, financial, which is Allstate's big push. Financial information about how to gain independence.
How do you deal with that on a regular basis? Is that hard?
It's definitely hard. It's all hard. All of our housing staff does case management one-on-one with folks, and of course we work with SAGE, and they do counseling for domestic violence. But it's a hard job to hear all of the things that are troubling someone that might be homeless
And
today.
yet you seem to be a fairly upbeat person.
I try to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be, but boy, I tell you, my housing manager, she's the most upbeat person that I've ever met, and I aspire to be more like her. Shavana, she's amazing and bubbly, and you can call her at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she's fantastic.
If you call me at 6 o'clock in the morning to get me going, what? What do you want? I got the Purple Purse. Can I dig it out?
Yes, yes.
So explain what exactly this is. How do people win it?
So this is an exclusive Serena Williams bag.
tennis player.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and handcrafted in Italy. It is leather. It's worth about $400. It's part of the Purple Purse campaign. It's got this great little makeup bag that goes along with it. This, and we have a lot of other great prizes, are going to donors that are participating in the Purple Purse campaign. And this will go to the one person who raises the most money for us. So kind of the gist of the Purple Purse campaign is that about 200 nonprofits in the United States are competing with each other to win money from the Allstate Foundation that's been set aside. So each week of October there are challenges, and so each week you compete to win this money that's available, and overall there's $100,000 at stake for one nonprofit that raises the most money.
Can you imagine what $100,000 could do to help you guys out?
It would do a whole lot for the YWCA of North Central Washington. I mean, it would be...
it'd be a godsend.
It'd be life-changing for our clients, for certain. So anyway, the purse is wonderful, but really the purpose is creating awareness and bringing people into kind of the nuts and bolts of what we do. And learning more about domestic violence and how it affects everyone. We all know someone who's been affected by domestic violence.
No question about it. Is this the only Purple Purse, or there's a bunch of them that they're giving out?
So there are basically about 200 of these is all. So it was an exclusive made, and it does say Serena Williams for Purple Purse.
So you can't go to any store anywhere and buy this?
No, you can't go buy this.
Okay.
So anyway, it's kind of a bonus for us. We have some wonderful purse charms that we're giving away to people who are donating, and you can donate online.
That's my next question. Yeah. How do you donate?
Yeah, you can donate online at our website, which is ywcancw.org.
I got it up right here.
Perfect. And you'll see the Purple Purse thing, and you click on that, and it'll take you to our page, and you can learn a little more about us. It's totally secure. You can donate, and all this money is going right to the Allstate Foundation. They're keeping track of all of the donations, so everything has to be to that site to count towards the challenge.
So the $100,000 is already there, and this is going to add to it, or
yes,
okay,
yeah. So any dollar that the YWCA that we raise is ours to keep, and on top of that, we're competing with all of the other nonprofits for those funds that they're giving away. $10,000 a week, and the overall $100,000.
And this started on Monday the 2nd, and it goes through the entire month, right?
Yes, it does. Ends on the 31st.
Okay.
So they're at our website or at our Facebook page at YWCA North Central Washington. You can come into our store and make a donation. We have these nifty little things you can scan with your phone, takes you directly to the page. And the store is a partner. So the store is competing with the main building and with the board members who are all competing to raise money individually, which goes towards our total goal. And we are hoping to raise $10,000 locally, and we are in about 500 thus far this week.
Oh,
so
you'll
we
get
have
there.
a lot of work to do, but I think with everyone's help, we'll definitely get there.
The store is at 231 North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to where KPQ is located,
Yes.
in Cherry Creek Media. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
And you got some pretty cool stuff in there, too.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
Yeah.
We have the window all decorated up in purple with a little hint of Halloween, and can't miss it. We have our Purple Purse posters, which are quite dramatic, and you can even stop by there after hours and scan that QR code. So we set that up.
Yeah, if you have one of these smartphones. I'm a dumb guy with a smartphone. If you know how the QR code works, you can scan it, and boom, you're in. So I want you to win the big thing. I want you to win the whole.
We want to win the big thing.
Yeah.
We have kind of a little secret that we're planning some big things for the YWCA here in the very near future, and that would be some nice seed money for us.
Okay, let's go get them, folks. We can do it. We can do it. What's going to happen? Where's this Purple Purse going to be between now and the?
Probably going to be down at the store. You'll be able to see it down there, and it's pretty plush.
Yeah, I don't know anything about purses, but this is pretty nice.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. The leather is fantastic.
You want me to really increase the value? I could autograph it.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Ruin
We'll
that
do
thing.
that right after the show.
It's 44 minutes after the hour. Jenny Pratt is the executive director of the YWCA of North Central Washington. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, one of the big fundraisers, it's something new, it's exciting. Wenatchee has begun to embrace what's going to happen on October 28th. We're talking about the big drag show at the America Pack. We'll talk about that when we come back with Jenny Pratt. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. The perils of live television, Jenny. Every once in a while,
Super fun.
The equipment just refuses to work, and that's been the case today. Our TriCaster, who we have affectionately nicknamed Stacy, is misbehaving. We're not going to tell
Bad
you why.
Stacy.
Stacy's been very bad today. So, which is kind of sad because you brought a whole bunch of really cool photos and things to talk about. But we're still going to talk about the event, which is the 28th of October. Give folks a thumbnail sketch of what to expect at the America Pack on October 28th.
Oh my goodness. So this is our third annual Hallow Queens Drag Show. And you are exactly right. Our community has begun to embrace us and this event. We had a little resistance. The first year people were a little unsure about it. But man, I'm telling you, we've gained some momentum. The Hallow Queens Drag Show is exactly that. It's a drag show, but classed up a bit. We're at the Performing Arts Center. We have a new sponsor, AmeriGroup, who is our presenting sponsor. That's a big deal. People have kind of shied away a little bit. And so it is wonderful to get the support of the business community coming around this event. The MC of the show is coming from out of town. Her stage name is Jessica Rabbit. She's been at our show before and was the MC last year. And so more of the same great entertainment. It is, the costumes are so elaborate
and over the top.
Fantastic and over the top. And it's just a wonderful, entertaining evening. The first show and last year too, before we could even get off the stage, people were thanking us for bringing it to our community because it's just really an experience. And we see people from 80 years old, and this year the age limit is 16. So, we have the full gamut, male, female, and people have a wonderful time.
What exactly is the show?
The show.
What is the show? What are you going to see for the 2 hours you're there?
It's like a variety show, singing, lip syncing, dancing, fantastic costumes. To me, it's if I was in Vegas and I went to, that's what I would expect.
Okay.
It's that kind of thing. It is over the top, fantastic, and so entertaining, really.
And the staging is pretty cool too.
Yes. The stage. It's all most all of the performers perform regularly as part of their job, and for you and I, that's a very interesting fact. But because of that, they are very good at what they do, and there's opportunity for VIP folks to go up to the orange carpet and have some photos taken with the queens, and that's very popular. We have a big lineup for that usually. We have an intermission. It is definitely a benefit, so we're definitely asking for those who are attending to support our programs. We have a very short little program after intermission, and then it's back to the show.
Do you go up on stage, Jenny? And
I do a little bit. Yeah, I don't do any dancing.
Why not?
You know,
You have
it's
a
just
sense of rhythm.
Not my thing,
Okay.
but it's for everyone's sake, you know. Costumes are optional. A lot of the people who attend, because it is near Halloween, it's the Saturday before Halloween on the 28th, they wear costumes. And so I think that's part of the great time that people have, is looking at everyone else's costumes. I would say maybe half of the audience come in costume and the other half come as they are, and everybody is good with it. It's fantastic.
Was this a hard sell? Was this your idea 3 years ago?
It was not my idea. It was one of my staff members had brought it to me for a few years, actually,
And
before.
it kind of percolated there?
It did. It did percolated there, and then, you know, come to the board. And
was it a hard sell to the board?
A little bit at that point in time.
Understandable.
It was, you know, stepping out. It's stepping out and doing something that no one else is doing, which is sometimes uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, but it has been fantastic. It's opened doors for us. You know, part of our mission is embracing everyone from all walks of life, no matter what. And it has really opened so many doors for us in relationship building with the LGBTQ community here in our area and across the state, really.
The fact that you're doing a third one means that the first two went pretty well.
Yes,
right? Yeah,
yes.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes, and ticket sales are far and above what they've been in years past. Last year we were competing with the elections.
Yes.
So we are definitely going to sell out before the night of, and there's not a whole ton of VIP tickets still available. So if you're wanting to come, better get your tickets for sure.
If you get a VIP ticket, Jenny Pratt, what does that mean? What's the extra cost?
You come a little bit early,
Okay.
and you get to have that time, a half hour. We do those exclusive photos with the queens and meet and greet kind of thing. And people really eat that up. It's really great.
Yeah. I suppose there's going to be, you know, the bar will be open.
Yeah, it's a regular pack thing. So
Yeah.
the bar will be open ahead of time. There is an intermission, so people can visit the bar for snacks and drinks again. Yeah, it's a great night of entertainment. I didn't have a lot of experience with it, but it is a good time, and it is the funnest fundraiser you'll ever go to.
And it's for you, for the YWCA, and I've mentioned this to any number of 501(c)(3)s. The challenge each and every year is to figure out a new way to raise awareness for your organization and to raise money,
right?
Because you are by definition a nonprofit, and eventually some things just kind of run their course. It's another fundraising golf tournament, or it's another fundraising
Launch.
yard sale,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be, a fun run, or whatever the case may be. Things need to change. Things get mixed up. But this has worked out great for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really has. It's been a great thing.
Did you know after the first one you were going to do a second one? I mean, as soon as it was over, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we're in.
The PAC was trying to book us for the next year before we were off the stage.
Oh, wow.
He said it was the most enthusiastic crowd he'd seen in years.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, so for us, that was like, wow, that's a big thing.
And Matt and his staff at the America PAC are just wonderful people to deal with. They're
Yeah.
so professional.
Yes, and for us, it's a wonderful match because, you know, they take care of, you know, selling the tickets and all that sort of thing. So it's really a great match for sure.
Tickets, can you get the tickets at the store? We mentioned the store
No,
downtown. You
no.
can't? Okay,
So
how do you
it
get
is
the
at the
tickets?
PAC, so you need to get tickets at
the
663 Arts or at newamericapac.org.
Or the box office.
Or the box office, yeah. And so do that soon.
And you want to get seats, I'm assuming, you want to get seats in the main level. You don't want to be up in the balcony for this.
There's no bad seat in the house,
Yeah,
really.
okay.
This is, you know, unless you're like me and you don't wear glasses, you know, so you need to sit near the front. But it's a great view from anywhere. And they did open the balcony, so if you have a large group, it's a great place, you know, to get in. But
If you don't, the show's on Saturday the 28th.
Yeah.
If you don't sell out by then, so you don't have to promote it anymore, is there any chance we could get one of the performers in on the show, or maybe do an interview with them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's make that arrangement happen.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
make that
sure,
arrangement
that'd be
happen.
good.
What else is going on at the YWCA? We talked about the Purple Purse, we talked about the
Yeah.
the Hollow Queen thing,
Well,
and then
that's all the fundraising we have going on this month.
okay.
But, you know, of course, housing, homeless housing is our big thing. job training. You know, unfortunately, our homeless shelter and our transitional housing and our permanent supportive housing are full to the max with the waiting list. We are experiencing fewer openings, you know, as the years progress. Last year, we served 25% more than we had in 2015. And this year, we're on track to beat that by a long shot.
How do you account for that? What's going on?
I'm not sure about that. You know, the rental market is certainly a big factor. The fact that we're less than 0.5% of vacancy rate here in Wenatchee is a huge problem.
People are being priced out of their homes.
Yes, yes. And so we're seeing professionals in our homeless shelter.
That is remarkable. That's a stunningly sad statistic.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's sad no matter what someone does. But when you see someone that could obviously get a market rate apartment come into emergency shelter because they have no other options, because they've been living in their car, and it's hard to shower for work when you work at a professional job when you live in your car. And so, you know, those are startling facts that we're dealing with every single day. You know, my housing manager tells me, you know, this week we turned away 3 moms with children. One of those moms slept in the park overnight with her kid.
There's simply no place for them to go.
Yeah.
That is
horrific. It's hard. That is a hard thing to manage, even just with your staff, to think about that mom being out. You know, they want to take them home. We know we all want to take people home and make them comfortable, but you know, we just need more housing, more places for people to be. So the YWCA is master leasing with private landlords, and so we are guaranteeing rents for people who own properties in order to have places to put people. We are making plans, the big secret, to build more housing. So more on that coming down the road.
Are you getting good cooperation from local government on this thing?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
It's been addressed by.
It is being addressed. You know, there was just the big housing survey and report on that. So yes, it's something that the whole community is working on, and everyone is grappling with the same problem.
And it's not just high rent. To get into an apartment, you're talking first month's, last month's damage deposit. It's a big chunk of change.
It is a big chunk of change. And the average couple earning minimum wage cannot afford a rent. I toured an apartment with a family member 2 nights ago for a basement apartment. It was basically a studio with pull doors that closed the sleeping area off. $950.
For probably
for a studio,
800
1
square
bedroom.
feet or something like that.
Oh no, it was like 500 square feet.
That's, for a lot of people, that's a walk-in closet.
Right. So, you know, that kind of tells you what the problem is. And a couple earning minimum wage full-time cannot afford $950 plus utilities in this community. That's our problem.
Keep the faith. We'll get there.
Every day.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up, Jenny. We got about 2 minutes left before we started. Let's go back to the Purple Purse real quick. So here it is one more time, and how do people
The Purple Purse, you can come
participate?
see it at the YWCA store, 231 North Wenatchee Avenue. You can also make a donation while you're there. Donations of $10 or more made there at the store are receiving a great Purple Purse charm. I have one on my bag. They're beautiful. Got a little leather tassel in purple. Or visit the webpage at ywcancw.org or YWCA-NCW at Facebook, and you can make a donation there for Purple Purse.
And again, the nonprofit who raises the most amount of money throughout the month of October wins the big prize, $100,000 from Allstate. Kudos to Allstate, by the way, for stepping up on that.
Yeah, Allstate Foundation's awesome.
And whatever money you raise here in the North Central Washington area will stay here.
Stays here.
In the North Central Washington area, and
Yes.
somebody's going to win this purse as well.
Yes, sir.
And then Saturday the 28th, it is the, what's the name of it? The
Hallow Queens Drag Show.
That's a nice play on words, by the way.
Yeah.
The Hallow Queens Drag Show at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. Tickets are at the Numerica Performing Arts Center box office. As this continues to be a hot topic, my guess is you're going to sell out. I want you to sell out.
We're going to sell out.
Yeah, and if you're not there, again, the week before, if you're not quite there, there's still a few tickets left. I want you to get a hold of me. We'll make arrangements, and we'll get one of the stars of the show.
Okay.
Because I have never,
That'd be super
never
fantastic.
interviewed somebody who does that either for a living or as a hobby.
Yeah.
It would
okay.
be fascinating. I have a lot of questions. So.
I have to be here for that.
Jenny Pratt, the Executive Director of the YWCA of North Central Washington, eliminating racism, empowering women. Amen to that. Jenny, don't be such a stranger anymore, all right?
I'll be back.
All right. My guest tomorrow will be Carrie Condata. Until then, have yourself a great Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.